in the car industry where Toyota utilized his initiatives, and now he's what he calls an architect, growth mindset expert, where he helps entrepreneurs like us and you scale and grow businesses with authenticity and heart. Let's give Razmig some love.
Let's hope this clicker works for me. All right, I have to admit I'm kind of technologically challenged, but my message today is about trusting your inner child. Youth is wasted on the youth, maybe not for Lila, but that is a lesson I learned the hard way, and I'll share a story with you that will demonstrate. And that is the essence of what I do today with entrepreneurs and executives. So, as Christopher shared with you, I grew an eight-figure business, and after I left that business because I didn't like the direction that the industry was taking, plus I was fed up of a brick and mortar business. I was fed up of running a daycare, being in charge of 100 employees. And as I was looking for different ways of doing business back in the late 90s, internet was new, e-commerce hadn't even been developed, I think, back then. I did all sorts of things. Some stupid stuff, some crazy stuff, B2B sales, industrial sales, things that had nothing to do with my previous career in the automobile industry. But then, something from the outside changed everything for me. And that was what happened to my eldest daughter, Tala. And I remember the day vividly. Like, just picture this. It's Wednesday, the 29th of November, 2008. It's 5 p.m. in the afternoon, beautiful fall day. I just got home from work. We were getting ready to sit down for supper with my wife, and the phone rings. And I recognized her mom's voice on the phone, and I said, okay, I can go and do something else because usually those calls last quite a while. Supper's delayed. 5 minutes later, she hangs up the phone, and I look at her face, and she's kind of perplexed. She said, I have no idea what just happened. My mom was in a panic. All I heard was, Talat, hospital, come now. So we dropped everything, and we went to Sacré-Cœur Hospital, where they told us she was at, and we met up with them at the emergency, and they told us, we have absolutely no idea, we just showed up, we're waiting for news. So we're there, half an hour later, a nurse comes up, says, I can't really tell you anything, your daughter is on the verge of death, we're trying to save her life. As soon as the doctor's finished with her, we'll come and give you some news. Please be patient and give us time to work. So we're there for 5 hours. A doctor finally comes and tells us, we're concerned if she's gonna make it through the night. She's had a severe head injury. We put her under coma because otherwise she would have a heart attack from the pain of her injuries. I can't show you the picture because too much. She had multiple fractures on both legs below the knee, fractured pelvis, fractured clavicle, injury to the head, and the doctor said, we're trying to get her through the night. I'm gonna go back and start working with her, and we've got the best surgeons, just be patient. And that was the start of her journey back. Now, this is what she went through after getting out of the hospital. So I'm going to share this video. It's 2 minutes. Please bear with me. Coming. It's coming. There you go. Okay, now, all right, so while you're looking at this, she had to learn everything. She had to relearn how to eat. She had to relearn how to swallow. She had to relearn how to walk, hand-eye coordination. And the doctors, the nurses, the therapists were all dissuading us from having any hope. What got us through was our faith, was our trust, and our abundance mindset. We told the doctors, we don't care what you're telling us. Don't have your reality change my perception of what's going to happen. She's alive right now. Just focus on getting her alive, keeping her alive in the next hour. You tell us what you need. We'll give it to you. We're here to support you and get her through this. Now, it took her over a year and a half to do these things. Now, this is summarized in a 2-minute. And she worked hard. She was on the verge of giving up. We didn't let her. We encouraged her to go to the limit of what she wanted, of what she could, what she started, not to stop, not to give up. And the result of all of this is that now she's independent. She finished and graduated university. Despite everything that she was told, the next fall, she went back to school, completed her college, and despite of all of these challenges, and you can see how choppy her walk is, she can barely keep her balance, and now she's independent. She's not fully recovered. Obviously, there's something that's left. You know, she gets bright lights bother her, she gets frazzled in certain situations, but this is her today. They were telling us she would never walk again. Wow. So this is, I hope it never happens to any one of you, but I have to say, this was probably the best thing that happened in my life. It gave me clarity that I did not have before. It made me realize that all the things that I felt, experienced as a youth, that my parents and everyone else told me not to pay attention to, were actually what I needed to work on. Imagine if I had believed in my youth, as I was 7 years old, telling my dad, that was complaining why cars were rusting back then, to call the manufacturer and suggest that they built the bottoms in plastic, and him shooting me down. That reminded me that he had a fixed mindset. And that all came about thanks to her. And today, thank you, Edward, you inspired and reinforced what I believe, that I strongly believed and experienced through this, that, and what I noticed with entrepreneurs, executives, in general, we have 3 parts of us. We have a physical body, we have a mental, and we have a spiritual. Some people call it heart. And the challenge I see is that in our society today, we separate things into different elements when we're actually a holistic being. Yes. And when all of these 3 elements come into synchronicity, in harmony, and start working together, these are the type of miracles that can happen. Yes. So that is the foundation and the inspiration of my coaching business. Whoops. Gotta go right for the next slide. Sorry. No, we're gonna start over there. Whoops. I warned you, I'm technologically challenged. So, go to the next slide, I would have to go right. All right, so while we're working out the technological aspect of it, so my work with entrepreneurs and executives is to help them get out of their own way. I help businessmen, entrepreneurs, anyone I work with a vision that's bigger than their reality. Usually what I find is that they've come to a certain level of success and they get attached to it, and they don't realize, and that's their fear of lack mentality, fixed mindset. What brought them up to that point is exactly what's stopping them from getting to the next level. And my process that I developed, thanks to Shirzad Shamin, which owns the largest coaching training program, and is inspired by psychological analysis and the study of psychology. I'm inspired by Dr. Huberman, that's in neuroplasticity. Joe Dispenza about growth mindset, plus my 30 plus years of experience in working with hundreds of employees. I've come to develop BDH Coaching and Training. Now, I show you the logo because it's very significant to me. The triangle is about the 3 parts of who we are. It's also the foundational aspect of my process, and it represents BDH, which, Matt, you were mentioning yesterday when we were on the cruise. It's BDH is be, do, have. Most people today live in have, do, be, which is completely the opposite of what we need. The Phoenix is my going through the tough times, reinventing and relaunching myself after every limitation that I meet. So that's my coaching program. If you know of anybody that has limitations, that's blocked, that's trying to achieve something and is having a hard time, come and talk to me. I'd be more than happy to share, exchange, and try to find a way to help out. Where is he? I called somebody out on this bullshit yesterday. How was that for you? Was that helpful? It was a 5-minute conversation. So, my name is Razmig Malkassian, and I'm an architect of growth mindset, and I look forward to speaking with all of you.